Wonderful. Great. I see that the recording have started. Feel free to turn off your video if you want. You can also leave it. It's up to you. But good afternoon and welcome everyone to QueerTech Nonprofit Partner Information Session for PrideHacks. We're really excited to have you and work with you. We've been organizing PrideHacks for the last 5 years, and this year we're slowly organizing ourselves, doing info session, connection with the nonprofit community. Also, thank you to Microsoft for sponsoring this session. So our speakers today is going to be myself, Naufal Testowny. I'm the co-founder and CEO at QueerTech. And Andy is my co-founder. He's COO. You see him also on the screen. And Galen Love is from Microsoft, and he's a product marketing lead from Microsoft in education, and he'll be also presenting the Microsoft piece here. So I'm gonna get started with a quick video from last year to just show you what the event is about.
I'm so happy to be a sponsor on behalf of Unity Technologies for QueerTech, and this is our second year partnering with an amazing group that's not only celebrating our community, but connecting them to opportunities.
It was my first PrideHacks, and I wanted to take part because I liked the idea of a hackathon that was going to bring people together to use their technical skills to solve real problems faced by organizations that maybe don't normally have the time or the resources to get that kind of technical assistance. I'm always really happy when I can use my technical skills to help out and to do some good.
One of the reasons why I decided to volunteer is because I like the mission of helping marginalized community facing tech problems. Thanks to this event, I learned a lot, especially seeing how tech professionals using their skills to help nonprofit organizations. And also having this learning opportunity for growth personally and professionally.
This is my third year with PrideHacks. I always enjoy working with the LGBTQI organizations and helping them meet their technical needs. This year I was the project manager for the Dignity Network Canada project. The Dignity Network promotes LGBTQI human rights around the world.
Cette année, c'était la deuxième année que la Fondation Émergence participait au PrideHack organisé par QueerTech. Donc on est arrivé avec deux projets. Le premier projet, c'était de faire un microsite pour notre remise de prix. Et le deuxième, c'était de faire un système de commande pour notre matériel de sensibilisation. Grâce à l'aide de PrideHack, maintenant, on a une boutique Shopify qui nous permet d'avoir une expérience de la part de l'utilisateur qui est beaucoup plus simple.
ACCM is a nonprofit that offers support services to people living with HIV and hepatitis C, and we also do educational and prevention work. We had this really janky, super ugly website that looked like it was from the 90s. PrideHacks revamped it, and now we have a modern, up-to-date, and very accessible website that works perfectly on all platforms, so teachers can now access our content about where they're working.
Donc, merci QueerTech, merci à toutes les personnes qui ont participé au PrideHack. Ça va nous rendre la tâche beaucoup plus facile de sensibiliser le monde aux enjeux LGBTQ+, et de lutter contre l'homophobie et la transphobie.
I look forward to next year's PrideHacks.
Thank you so much to PrideHacks. We really appreciate your support.
Awesome. Yes, so that was a video from last year. It was the first time we've organized actually PrideHacks as a virtual event. This year also we are planning to have the event online, so it will be completely virtual. Before we dive into what is PrideHacks and how we can help you this year, I want to just give you a quick introduction to QueerTech. So QueerTech is a Canadian nonprofit based out of Montreal. We've been around since 2016, fairly very young organization. And our mission is all about, we say we want to queer the tech ecosystem. And really what it means is we're looking to increase representation of LGBTQ people in tech. And so the way we do that is through multiple programs that Andy will be talking about.
Yeah, so currently we have 4 programs: QD Connect, Careers, PrideHacks, and Research. We're looking to launch our 5th program in 2022. But QD Connects is all about telling queer stories, bringing people together, and creating safe spaces. Careers is our workforce development job seekers program where we connect our community to open opportunities within the tech ecosystem. That's done in 2 ways. One is through our job board, and then the second is through our virtual job fair that we launched in April, and then we have another one coming up in the fall. And then outside of PrideHacks, we have our 4th program called Research, where we are working on creating data around the landscape of LGBTQ and tech ecosystem in that intersection. So we have a couple of projects underway under our research arm, and then PrideHacks. PrideHacks, like Nafal said, is our flagship event. This is our 5th year doing our PrideHacks event, and we're really excited to continue to host it. It's all about connecting our community to nonprofit organizations that are serving the LGBTQ plus population. And then Queer Tech, again, like we said, it's all about bringing together people from Canada's tech ecosystem to build, design, and implement technology solutions for nonprofit organizations like yourselves that serve the LGBTQ plus community. And then this is a list of our nonprofit partners from 2020. Everybody from ACM, Interling, a lot of Montreal-based organizations, but in addition, we also expanded to Toronto last year, and we're hoping to expand our reach again this year. So we're hoping to add your organization to this list of amazing nonprofits that we've partnered with in the past. And then why should you apply for PrideHacks? PrideHacks teams can help you create technology, and they help do so by assessing your needs. And maybe there's a technology project that you've had on the shelf because you don't have the employees to help get it deployed. We can help assess what that project is, put the plan together, and potentially put together a team of volunteers to make that happen. Maybe there's maybe your team needs a little bit of training on how or training manuals created of some technology that you've acquired or bought, and we can help you design that training. We can help you figure out what that plan is and how to deploy that to your organization. Maybe you have an idea for an app, and we can help you maybe to start outline what the process is to create that app. Maybe there's some data and database management stuff that we can help with. We have technology experts from the community that we're bringing together that can help you with a lot of those things. So we hope that we're hoping that you're starting to brainstorm about how PrideHacks can support your tech needs. And then the types of projects that that PrideHacks supports. Again, this is a 2-day hackathon. So very successful projects in the past have been website creation or updates, just like you saw in the video. Again, data and database management, meaning that you have maybe a whole bunch of Google spreadsheets where you're keeping all your data, and we can help digitize that and make it usable. Maybe you're thinking again about how to create a new technology plan. We can help you scope it out. We can help you write the documentation of what the process is to get that ready for RFPs or for other volunteers to come in and help manage throughout the year. And then also, again, like I said, assistance in implementing new software or management of existing software, creating management plans, creating documentation, things of that nature. And then any other solutions to some technology problems that you might have. So if you have something that you've been thinking about, come to us and we can take a look at it, see what we're able to do, see what's going to be accomplished within that 2 days, and then put a plan together to make it happen. And then I think, did we have this twice? I think we had this slide twice, so it's just a reiteration. And then the application process. So the way that it works is that we have an application that we'd like for you to complete. It's pretty straightforward, and really it's about describing how you see technology solving a problem for you. At first glance, the application might be a little bit complicated, but we have volunteers on our team that can help walk you through that if you have any questions. And then that's just the first part. Once we get the information from you about the types of projects that you've been thinking about, we assess them and we put together all of our questions. And then a project manager from our team will contact you and have a deeper conversation about that. We have a nice, amazing team of project managers. They're all really phenomenal individuals, and it's all about, again, asking all the questions to get the answers to make sure that we're providing the right technology solution for you. And then on July 15th, we'll make our final selections of the projects that we're able to help. And then those will be the projects that we scope out, put together the team needs around, and then advertise for volunteers. And then on August 6th and 7th, teams of volunteers will come together to create that solution for you. Great. Nofel, do you want to talk through the process?
Yeah. So as Andy talked about earlier, so we have the applications open right now. You can apply. I think really what's important is if you look at the application and you don't know answers, don't get deterred by it. You can also contact us. What we really try to do is just to understand what is the problem that you're facing today, and then we'll have people help you figure out what is the best solution for it. So this is what we do in that first. So the application, you give us the information, and then we have someone that help you work on the problem. And then, so leading into the event, what we do is we usually write problem statements from each of the organizations we select. In previous years, we had anywhere between 5 organizations and 12 organizations. So we'll see, depend on the number of applications and the complexity of some of the solutions, we'll decide probably this year anywhere between 6 and 10 organizations. So what we do once we have those problem statements, we also work with a lot of technology companies that are partner with us, like Microsoft, where we would be promoting our event so people can sign up and come hack. So earlier we mentioned the word hackathon. Some people might not be familiar with that means. Is really it's an event where we invite the participants are people who work on tech companies who do a lot of programming and coding. Some of them also work in the business divisions, and so they all come together for these 2 days where they spend the 2 days building solutions for the nonprofits and hacking their way around, as you see. So that's kind of where that word hackathon comes from. So we'll be helping you. So throughout the month of July, we do the recruitment of all the participants, and then we have a opening cocktail that we'll do. So this will be on August 5th. It'll be a virtual event at the end of the day. I think it's from 5 to 8. So it's really a way for us to launch the event, celebrate, bring everyone together, and we also get to present all the problems to the participants again, and then kind of start putting those teams together that will help you. And then on Friday and Saturday, so that will be August 6th and August 7th, all day from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Every day, the teams will be coming together and working with you directly to create those solutions. So the way it works is we have a representation of each of the organization. You'll already know your product, your project manager, and the two of you will already be prepared coming into this day with the team, and you'll present the problem. You'll have some suggestions for solutions, and people will start helping you build that solution. So either that's, you want to redo your websites, you want to implement new technologies. You'll see Microsoft for Nonprofit has so many tools that can help you with your productivity, connecting with your team, organizing yourself. So these are also things that we can help you with. Just whatever you think it's technology, don't think it's basic, come to us. We've done all sorts of different projects with different organizations, from very new nonprofits to very big, large, complex nonprofits. So, feel free to come. So our goal is by the end of Saturday that we deliver this product to you and that they are finalized. Sometimes there is few things that needs to be finalized, and we do that with the teams and really look at that period after the event to implement these solutions and finalize the work. So that's a little bit the process. Really, on your end, where we need you is once the application is, you submit it to us, we connect you to a project manager. So reserve an hour or an hour and a half to talk to them, because they're going to try and understand what is the problem that you have. And so they can start thinking about how to write it down. They also think about what are the profile competencies and skills that you need to be able to build the solution for you, and they'll coordinate with us. And then the day of the event is when we ask someone from your organization to be present for the 2 days. Ideally, it's the same person, but we do understand also if you can't have that, you can alternate, but we always want to have someone from your organization. Ideally, also someone who have access to tech systems like passwords, understand how the system works, so they can really be efficient at building the solutions for you. So to apply today, I'll let you do this, Andy.
Yeah, so we're hoping that we get some applications, some great applications for some amazing projects this year. We have the application up and it's live. So it's at queertech.info/NFPO app. You can find the application there. That's the direct link to the application. Or you can stay connected with everything that's PrideHacks this year. We'll be updating our PrideHacks webpage on our website continually between now and the event with all of the relevant information. Again, the videos from the info session will be available, and this video will be made available to you so you can review back to it. And then if you have any questions at all, our team is available to answer those as well. And the PrideHacks page will always be where the most up-to-date information will be.
Yeah, and we're also gonna send you a new link we received this afternoon from Microsoft. So that's gonna be the link for Microsoft for Nonprofit. And I will pass it to Galen, who is here with us, to share with you more information about that.
Awesome. Can everyone see me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I got a background from my last meetings. I'm going to switch it out, something a bit more appropriate for this one. Okay, there you go. That's probably a bit more appropriate for what we're talking about today. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can all see it. How about now?
We can see it.
Okay, so my camera's here. Actually, I should probably change it so I'm actually talking to the camera, not talking over here, because that's going to be confusing for all of you on the other end. 1 second as I switch from my 3 monitors, which I'm sure is dramatically excessive. Okay, that should be in place now in view for you all. And move that over there. Okay, great. We're all set up. Hi, everyone. I'm going to be talking to you about technology and social impact, in particular, what Microsoft services can do to help you. So it's an amazing pleasure for Microsoft to return to sponsor PrideHacks. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd year, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. I think that we didn't do it last year, but the year before, I think we did or something. Anyways, we're thrilled to be back, and I'm really excited to engage and activate with all of you. I actually noticed some of my peers from Microsoft on the bridge. So if you're from Microsoft, you want to just say, hi, I'm from Microsoft. I work on this place in the chat window, to let people know who else is friendly from a Microsoft side in this call today. But I'll be talking to you. Oh, sorry, my name is Galen Love. I use pronouns he and him, and a bit more about me is I work in the education marketing space at Microsoft Canada. My email is there, glove, like a baseball glove, at Microsoft.com, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. That's linkedin.com/in Gail and Love, or feel free to take a picture of that little QR code you see there. So there are a world of hopeful stories, and there's billions of people at risk of being excluded. And this is something that's really anchored in Microsoft's philosophies of how we're trying to build a more inclusive world. And what's really strategic for us is that supporting nonprofits is critical to this. I think what you are able to do is to scale in immense ways to address communities at risk and at need and often feeling neglected. And so what we're trying to do at Microsoft is to empower all of you to achieve what you need to be achieving for the communities you're so close with. And so what Microsoft is making available are tools and services that you can use at no cost to help you achieve your mission. And so we need to, oh, I see a question come from Stephanie. I might actually hold on the questions, get to the presentation, and I absolutely will come back and answer all the questions that you might have. And so what we're trying to do at Microsoft is provide packages of solutions that you can use to leverage as a platform to achieve what you're trying to achieve for your communities that you're respecting here. So Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. So it's a very lofty goal. For anyone who's familiar with Microsoft back in the 90s and 2000s, we had a very different mission. The mission back then was a PC on every desk. Not overly inspirational, I wouldn't say. But what I love about this mission that we've anchored on since Satya Nadella became CEO in 2014, I think, we're really focusing on empowering. We want to empower others, not ourselves. Every person, whether it be from different walks of life, and every organization, whether it be nonprofits, enterprises, or public sector institutions on the planet, Earth today, Mars tomorrow, and to achieve more, to do better at what you're trying to accomplish. And we want to be a tool that you're able to use to accomplish these things. We don't want to be the one calling the shots. We want to be the one supporting you in your missions and objectives. So I love this because it's very subservient and humble. In that we're not here to be rock stars. We're here to make you rock stars. Is kind of what we're really focused on. And so what it comes down to is what should technology do? And that's kind of up for all of us to decide as citizens of the world. And so I want to see if this video is going to share with audio. Let me just make sure I got the audio sharing. There we go. I missed the audio share. All right. I'm going to try to share this. Hopefully this works for all of you. Let me click play. Let me know if the audio comes through for you.
We're living
great.
In a changed world. Advances in technology are dramatically reshaping how we live, work, and learn. And while there is great potential for technology to help address society's biggest issues, the pace of this change is also raising new challenges and amplifying existing inequities in our communities. Now more than ever, Microsoft recognizes its enormous responsibility and opportunity to ensure that the technology we create benefits everyone on the planet, as well as the planet itself. Now is the time for urgent action. Those of us that can do more should do more. But the challenges we face are complex, and no one company, industry, or country can solve them alone. Together, we can reimagine a better future.
So what does that mean for you? So I'm going to put something in the chat menu, and I highly encourage you to ignore me if you want and check this out. But it is a link. So if you are at a nonprofit or a charitable organization, this is a link you can activate today to get started. So PrideHacks is until August. But what Microsoft is offering to nonprofits and charities around the world is amazing free resources to get you started. And so we have a Microsoft software donation program, which includes Microsoft 365 Business Premium. So the same software that you would use for Outlook and OneDrive and document creation, video conferencing with Teams, that's all available for you for free, up to 20 users. The same service that would be used by enterprises and small businesses alike. We're not charging nonprofits and charities who are validated by TechSoup. But there's more. Up to 100 additional users for Business Basic. The big difference between Business Premium is that the apps we're familiar with, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those can all be downloaded onto your desktop or your system tray, whatever you might be using on a Mac or a PC, whereas the business basic version runs in the web, like a Google Apps or a G Suite. But the big one I want to chat with you all about is the Azure sponsorship offer. Up to $3,500 American, which is actually not as much as it used to be a year ago, annually. So nonprofits and charities do qualify. You do have to go through a qualification process. But the reason why I want to talk about this one in particular, this membership benefit, is that as you're doing your hackathon, you can actually take something and actually make it real. So you can do a hackathon and make a PowerPoint slide saying, here's what we can do. But you can actually use the time of the hackathon to make it real and to deploy it and make it available. So there's a bunch of things we can kind of talk about, what you can make real. And I got some friends from Microsoft here who can help me out, who are a bit more on the technical side, but some really easy things, creating a bot. A lot of nonprofit organizations just have a deluge of people asking for support and resources. If you have documentation about all the questions as an FAQ, you can actually make a bot and make that publicly available so that you can free up your resources and people time from addressing things directly one-on-one. Make a bot so they can kind of do things for you with the information it already has, and it learns along the way. And if it needs to connect to you in person, they can absolutely come to you in person. So if you have a website, there's a free bot service here you can connect in. Or you can even host your website. Maybe you're having issues with the WordPress site you're having, or it's being expensive to host it on a third-party hosting platform. You can actually use this Azure sponsorship membership to host your website. So consider that as a free website hosting potentially. There's a bunch of other interesting Azure cognitive services, things that can plug in to understand the world it sees, it hears, it thinks, and recognizes. So if you're trying to have an application you're trying to develop to solve all the community need for the LGBTQS community, then yeah, you can actually, you can create a service that can listen, whether it be online or in the physical world, a service that can see and address things and make recommendations, or think and translate things that are happening maybe between Quebec and Calgary. So really, when you think about it, the opportunities are endless. The big important thing here is having the confidence to go after and solve these problems, and how can we want Microsoft to be right there to help you figure this all out. Additional services, Dynamics 365 for fundraising and engagement. So that's actually it's included in the package, which is a platform for donor management, all that kind of stuff. If you're a nonprofit or charity trying to get funding from private donors or even large public donors. You can get, once you're approved as a Microsoft certified nonprofit or charity, you can get Microsoft Surface discounts through the Microsoft Store. LinkedIn has a service for you for free of charge to hire, market your solutions, fundraise, and learn more about how to approach your organization. GitHub for nonprofits makes a service available for you to free as well. And then also TechSoup has training courses. So if you haven't yet, aka.ms/PrideHacks, which is in the chat window there. And then I think I got a couple more slides, but I'll show you what that kind of process looks like. So in last year, Microsoft actually provided $1.9 billion in grants and discount services for nonprofits and charities across the world. $221 million donated by Microsoft employees like myself with a company match. So I actually have a $500 a charitable match. And so last year I did a big donation to an organization that's really important to me, which is the Toronto People with AIDS Foundation. They do an annual bike fundraiser to Montreal. I've done that about 3 times now. So it's great that an organization that's literally just down the street from me that I've been involved with for 10 years now in fundraising efforts, Microsoft's able to match my personal donations, which is fantastic. And then we actually have 150,000 nonprofit organizations equipped with modern, secure, and scalable Microsoft Cloud solutions. So that's pretty much leveraging some of the offers we're talking about here, whether it be about hosting your email on Exchange and using the Outlook client, whether it be on your desktop or on your phone, document storage on SharePoint and OneDrive, kind of like a Google Drive or a Dropbox, productivity apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, collaboration apps like Microsoft Teams, we're all on right now. You can actually have identity services, information protection services, make sure all your information is secure and compliant, which is also very important. Our cloud that we talk about is composed of many different facets, and you have access to most of these things. Microsoft 365, your email, your collaboration, security, LinkedIn, Dynamics for your fundraising, Microsoft Power Platform, which is a low-code, no-code developer platform. So if you're looking to create an application service, Microsoft Power Platform, which you have access to, would be a great place to explore. And then, of course, Microsoft Azure. So I'm going to pause. Actually, one more thing I want to talk about. A lot of you may be like myself and not overtly technical. What we do have is resources for you to learn more. And so Microsoft Learn is a great place that has step-by-step documentation, how to approach these things from the 100 level, the first-time user. There's also TechSoup, which I saw Stephanie jumped in saying is a great service. You have access to TechSoup through your sponsorship from Microsoft. And there's also Microsoft community training that we can make available to you as well. So awesome, but I want to make it a little bit more real. So I actually am on 2 boards of 2 nonprofits. One's a charity, a foundation, and then one in particular is a nonprofit for a fantastic organization I got pulled into a year and a half ago called the Dress Code Project. So myself, I am a gay man, using pronouns he and him, but a lot of my people on network and friends identify as transgendered or gender non-binary, and having gender-affirming haircuts is actually a really important thing. And so Kristen, who became a fast friend of mine, asked me to join her board. And so hair has no gender, and Kristen has established a network of organizations and salons and barbershops to provide gender-affirming haircuts around the world. So we got members from Canada and the US and Australia and all over. But what I had said to Kristen was, I think we need some help in terms of how do we keep the board and all the membership engaged and activated. So I actually got them set up. And so the nonprofit offer is, where is it? I think it's, I have one of the tabs here. Maybe I moved it away. Oh, here it is. This is the site. If you click that link I had in the chat window, this is where you go. And this is where you can begin to start off by registering, or if you already have your membership benefit, then you can just sign in over here. And it kind of walks you through the different steps. So I've actually done this twice now myself to get 2 nonprofits up and low in the system. It gets easier each time, but I understand there are hurdles. And that's why I was chatting with our friends over at Queer Tech to have this conversation in June rather than July, because it might take some time to go through all the steps to get your benefit up and running. So if you get started today, you should be okay to have everything set up in time for PrideHacks in August. So I recommend you to definitely begin the registration process right now. Ignore me if you want, unless I keep on talking about other things to consider here. So Dress Code Project exists, and it is a fantastic organization. And what I've actually made available to all board members and volunteers for the organization is an email account and access to all these applications that they can use, so they're not using their own independent instances of G Suite or Dropbox. It's all hosed together within the single organization. We use Teams for conferencing. We share documents in SharePoint together. We edit them with PowerPoint and Project and Excel. So yeah, I highly recommend to be familiar with some of these services, because a lot of nonprofits actually stitch together a bunch of different services to create an ecosystem that works for them, but they're not built to work together necessarily. Whereas this is all from the same suite where there are integrations built in together. And in fact, there are extensions to connect with other services you might already using today. So if you're in a nonprofit or charity that already has a big technical footprint, definitely see what's here available to you for free, what can connect in. If you're just starting off, then this is a great place to start, because everything you could need is actually in one nice tight little family here. So when I'm in this view, I can actually also see what the nonprofit offers are available to me. So Dress Code Project is approved. Woo! TechSoup did that approval for us back last summer, and so I can see my benefits. I got Microsoft 365. I have the Azure benefit. I definitely recommend you to set this one up sooner rather than later. The Azure grant, it takes a little bit longer. So as you get to that hackathon and PrideHacks coming in August, we want to make sure you are in your Azure your Azure portal, and have that money ready to go so you can actually build and deploy and have a working service when you walk out of there. There's Dynamics and Power Platform. You have that piece from Dynamics for engaging donors and constituents, hardware discounts, LinkedIn for marketing and also hiring talent for your organization, GitHub, and of course training from TechSoup. In the back end, as you set up, you'll be familiar with this view of Microsoft 365 as an admin center. Here's where you can kind of set up new users to get an email account. You can assign licenses, Gets a little technical, but there's a lot of great documentation to help you through. But also what you get is Azure. And so $3,500 US a year, which is incredible. And so what it does require is it requires a credit card so that if you do go over that and you don't tell it to stop, because everyone loves your bot, you're still able to continue that service instead of it being dead out. So so this is just proof right here. Here's my Azure sponsorship all set up and ready to go. We talked about Azure Cognitive Services, those AI pieces that can make your application super intelligent. So there's some more details here about what these cognitive services are that are relatively easy to plug and play to whatever application you might be exploring to make. And of course, you got a little bot service here going in the corner. Let's learn more about bot services. As I mentioned before, you can actually build a bot that can leverage a lot of the information you might already have. Questions and answers, FAQs, things that you actually often get questioned from your community that go to your service. So it's definitely something to check out there. In fact, I was chatting with the 519 a while back, and they're saying, you know, our help desk at the main reception before COVID, they were getting inundated with questions constantly that they just didn't know how to direct half the time, because a lot of it's volunteer-based sometimes. So I actually said, let's build a bot together. We actually got around to it, and then things got busy, but I'd love to come back to the 519 and say, hey, let's build that bot so you can actually direct people from their phones or a computer at the desk to learn more about different organizations that get support from based on previous examples of where people have reached out for support. So this is an example of the Q&A maker. But another thing to inspire you is something that I saw a few years ago that was actually put together by JWT. But it was actually a really interesting thing they did for Pride back in 2013, I believe. They've had this flag flying on top of the Church Mouse in Firkin, for anyone who's familiar with the Toronto Gay Village on Church Street. And so when at Pride, they had this flag up. And so every time that a service or an application noticed negative sentiment about the LGBTQ+ community, the flag would lower during Pride. But as people tweeted, raise the flag, or raise the pride, or celebrate positive things about the LGBTQ+ community, the flag would rise. And so they actually had a really great engagement during Pride, getting people to actually hashtag raise the pride, to get that flag raising up and up, to have more positive sentiment on Twitter, to combat all the negative sentiment that happens online to the LGBTQ+ community. So really interesting places. As I mentioned at the very beginning, we don't have all the answers at Microsoft. You are so connected to these communities. You have the answers and the capabilities and the talent to address this. What Microsoft wants to do is help you be successful by embodying our mission, which is to empower you with the services and support that you need to achieve your mission to make the world a better place. So I'll pause there. I think there were some questions in the window. If you want to come off of, let me turn my video share off so I can look more this way. If you want to have any questions for me, please let me know. My email again is glove@microsoft.com, like a baseball glove. If you're having any challenges with the registration process, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I may not have all the answers, but I'll do my darndest to find them for you.
Thank you, Galen. I love the presentation. Really great. Yeah, we're going to open it to Q&A. And if you have questions and you want to turn on your camera and talk to us, that's great. If you prefer just to write it down in the chat box, it's also okay, whatever you feel comfortable with. And after this, we will be sending you the recording and the links to PrideHacks application and also to for Microsoft. So.
Stephanie says this is wonderful. First, we need to get everyone the internet access they need so they can benefit from online spaces. Yes, absolutely. And also devices. I work in the education space at Microsoft, and in response to COVID-19, schools across Canada and Indigenous communities have had a really hard time. And so a big focus for me is to try and figure out how to get them devices, whether they be devices they can purchase as a school board, but also how to make sure that all these devices lying at home or in the closet can be leveraged to make sure that students that do not have access to a device at home can have access to it. Also orchestrating a bunch of device donations. I think we at Microsoft Canada donated about 1,200 devices that we had lying around to nonprofits, Indigenous groups and schools over the past 6 months or so. And actually we started something called the CEO Pledge. So there's actually a great service called Computers for Success, not sure if you've all been aware of it, but if your organization connects with communities or students who need support with access to device, you can actually request donated devices from the central service, which has been, so we've been trying to get devices there, but we actually did a pledge in the Globe and Mail trying to get other CEOs from large companies across Canada to say, yes, we're going to donate our devices to the Computers for Success program so that nonprofits, charities, and students and Indigenous communities can get access to those devices. So as much as it's great that Microsoft's saying, hey, here's some cloud software and some Azure credits, you know, there's a big gap in terms of connectivity, device access, but also, most importantly, skills, how people know how to work those devices to achieve things that they're trying to achieve. So Microsoft Learn is a great resource to kind of get started, to learn about how to leverage the Microsoft platform to work for you. Stephanie also says TechSoup is a great service. They are fantastic. Great training beyond just Microsoft solutions as well. There's other great resources for nonprofits to take advantage of. Emma here says, yes, Galen, I'm going to shamelessly plug the bike rally too. Emma, are you a rider? I'm not sure if I've met you before. Maybe I have. But yeah, I rode in 2013, 2017, 2019. And I fundraised last year, but there was no ride. And I'm registered for this year, but I think they're doing one-day rides this year. But
doing two-day rides, Galen. We just announced it, actually. I work for ACCM out of Montreal, so we recently partnered with PWA as their Montreal partner, and so this is our first like in-person kind of ride. So we're doing for August 14th and 15th. Sorry, I have to go off. I have to go.
Please, don't send bad information. You guys send the right words out.
No, so we're running out of Toronto, Kingston, and Montreal, so folks can ride out of one of those three locations. So anyone who rides out of Montreal, all of your fundraising comes back to us. So it's super awesome. The link is in the chat if you guys are interested, if anyone's from the Montreal area.
Love that. Thank you, Emma, for correcting me on that one. I love the PWA, ECCM, also fantastic organization. Yeah. So Adam, great resources and links, guys. Thanks on behalf of AGIR. You're welcome. What is AGIR? Adam? I'm not sure how you say that name, Mr. Khan or MX Khan, but I'd love to know what AGIR is.
Yeah.
This is what
it's called AGIR in Quebec. It's a Quebec nonprofit. Adam, maybe you can tell us more if you're there.
Hi guys. It's a nonprofit organization by and for LGBT migrants that aims to help other immigrants here in Quebec with social, economic, legal resources, and it's localized within Montreal.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for the work you do. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I also have two other people on the call from Azure here today, Amanda and Ian. So
nice.
Fantastic. No, this is great. Really excited. I know a lot of folks here also are connected to other nonprofits. So when we send you the information, if you know other organizations and friends, you can forward it to them. We're trying to reach as many nonprofits and let them know about this. And, we're probably not going to be able to take all the projects this year, but we'll do our best to always accommodate as many as we can. I see the time is coming up. I see a lot of comment. Thank you so much again. If you do not have any questions, we can wrap up and end our call. I'll give it another 35 seconds. I know sometimes last minute people have ideas, but yeah, appreciate pass the word to different people. Galen, thank you so much for coming on and presenting today. Really excited, and we're gonna see probably a lot of you between now and the event. So we'll get in touch and let you know how things are going. Yeah, thank you everyone who connected today and took the time to come in. We appreciate it, and we are looking forward to seeing your applications and also connecting with you. So feel free to email us. I'm gonna put my email again on the chat box. So if you have any questions or if you need anything, you can email me. You can also email hello@queertech.ca. These are all contacts to get in touch with us, and we will love to help you. Yes. Yep. That will also be available to you, part of the nonprofit, Microsoft for Nonprofit package. Gillian, thanks for sending the message. Again, that's the link. You'll be getting an email from us soon. Thank you so much. Andy, thank you for working on the presentation today and getting everything ready. And looking forward to connect with all of you very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Yes, yes, we will also send you the deck from this event. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.